Cleaning, checking and adjusting spark plug of a motorbike. Hello and welcome to this session on cleaning, checking and adjusting spark plug of a motorbike. A spark plug is an integral part of the engine which provides ignition for the fuel-air mixture in the combustion chamber to provide power. The spark plug provides spark for the fuel-air mixture and derives its energy from the battery of the motorbike. However, spark plugs need to be replaced in order to keep the motorbike running efficiently. If the spark plugs are not changed at regular intervals, the motorbike will gradually lose performance and reliability. Replacing a spark plug is a simple and quick procedure. In this session, we will learn the process of cleaning, checking and adjusting the spark plug of a motorbike. But before that, let's take a look at the parts of a spark plug. The parts of a spark plug are spark plug connection for the spark plug wire, insulator, gasket, center electrode, side electrode and plug gap. Now we'll see the procedure for cleaning, checking and adjusting the spark plug. First, let's take a look at the tools and materials we require for the job, which are wiping cloth, screwdriver, spark plug socket, small wire brush, spark plug feeler gap, gauge, pliers, emery cloth or sandpaper, tools tray, parts tray. We will now look at the steps involved. Wipe the spark plug cap or the cover clean with a cloth. Remove all dirt around the base of the spark plug with a cloth, brush or compressed air. Any dirt that falls into the spark plug hole may shorten engine life. Remove the spark plug cap by pulling it straight up with mild force using your hands. If the cap is tight, use a screwdriver to pull it open. Use a spark plug socket or spanner to unscrew the spark plug. Wipe the spark plug clean with a cloth. Visually examine the electrodes and ceramic base. If the electrodes are black, it indicates that the air-fuel ratio is too rich or the spark is weak. The plug may foul or give a poor spark if this condition is not corrected. A weak spark could be the result of improper gap on the plug or other ignition problem. A clogged air filter or improper mixture adjustment on the carburetor can create an unbalanced fuel mixture. Do not try to adjust the carburetor or test the ignition system until you have further training. A normal plug has a tan to brown color. Also examine the electrodes and ceramic base for wear and tear. The center electrode should have square edges and side electrode should have consistent thickness. Replace the spark plug if there is apparent wear or if the insulation is cracked or chipped. Clean the spark plug electrodes using a small wire brush. Use a small piece of fine emery cloth or sandpaper grit 200 to clean the end surface of the center electrode and the underside of the ground electrode. This is the area where the spark will travel. Rubbing the sandpaper back and forth 5 times on each surface should be sufficient. Measure the actual gap between the center electrode which sticks out of the ceramic insulator and the ground electrode above it. Use the wire feeler gauge to measure the actual gap. Compare it to the recommended gap for the particular vehicle. Most plugs run in the range of 0.6 to 0.7 mm unless they run on hotter or stronger ignition system. If the gap is not in the normal range, adjust the ground electrode to the proper gap. Use the adjuster on the wire gap gauge. If there is no gauge adjuster, then place the feeler gauge into the gap and tap the spark plug electrode on a steel surface. Test for a spark. Push the plug into the cap. Turn on the ignition of the two-wheeler. Hold the plug with cap attached using insulated pliers on the cap or cable so that the plug threads are firmly against the motor block or chassis. The spark plug voltage runs between 20,000 and 40,000 volts. If the plug is not grounded, you may get briefly shocked. If you have a heart pacemaker, do not attempt this test. Next, crank the engine while observing the electrodes. You may need someone to assist you with this. A tip to remember: shade the electrodes from the sun or strong lights. This will make it easier to see the spark. If you see a blue spark, the plug is working fine. A yellow spark is a weak spark and may indicate a weakness in the ignition system. Turn off the ignition. Refit the plug by hand to prevent cross-threading. Use a socket to tighten the plug to the recommended value, which is approximately 15 to 20 Newton meter or 1.5 to 2 kg meter. Fit the cap tightly. Start the engine to see that the engine is running smoothly. Clean the work area and put tools away. With that, we come to the end of our lesson. In this session, we have learned to clean, check, and adjust the spark plug of a motorbike. Hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you.